Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, November 18th, 2024. What's going on? How are ya? I am podcasting right now from Ojai. In the middle of the day, I'm watching the Patriots, competing with the Los Angeles Rams, but the game is slipping away with the... I don't know, we're a young team, but whatever. I was excited at halftime when Gronk was saying, that Drake May keeps improving because that's what it seems like is happening and that they have to build around this guy. This is the first time in a long time that I feel like we have a solid piece to build around. But Matthew Stafford is just too damn good and whatever. The game is slipping away and I am okay with that. Whatever. The more games we lose, the higher draft pick we get, right? You win by losing. Isn't that a fun way to watch your teams? Anyway, I'm up in Ojai here. I have a fucking afternoon show, which I think is going to be amazing. I'm at the Libby Bowl. I'm in a park during the day. I've been up here for a couple days. I brought the family up here. I've been having such a great time. My daughter has been funnier than anybody up here. Just killing me. She said at breakfast, she goes, "Dad, your only talent is telling jokes and cursing." My wife did a spit take, and I had no comeback. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of, is that a joke or a statement? I mean, that's kind of what it is. So, anyway, you know the deal. I've been with my wife for 3 days, so she's over me. So she's like, you gonna do your podcast? Are you going to do your podcast, which is like married code for can you get the fuck out of the room that I'm in? Which I get, absence makes the heart fonder, especially when you're talking about me, because, evidently I'm a lot. Anyway, so I am up here and, it's great. Ojai is one of these places for the first couple of days. You're like, I could fucking live here. And then after that, you're like, I think I understand The Shining a little more than I did. Oh my God, I'm going to have to open with that. Ojai is this weird combination of earthy, crunchy, liberal, and then people walking around dressed like they're in Tombstone. I don't know. I have major fucking issues with people that dress like they're in a movie. It's I get it. You're up here, you're in the mountains, but why are you dressed like fucking Sam Elliott in some cowboy movie? You know what I mean? Pulling up in a fucking Escalade. If I see one more douchebag wearing a fucking cowboy hat that doesn't own a horse, you know what I mean? It's I get it. You like things the way they were. That's another thing, too. All these fucking idiots going we're living in a simulation. Yeah, you're part of it. You're part of it. What is with every fucking thing that you do now has to have an outfit? Back in the day, you just did shit wearing the same clothes. And now there's a fucking outfit for everything. Why does every barista have to have a fucking knitted hat on, regardless of how hot it is out? Inside. I don't understand that. And I'm fucking standing there waiting for a fucking coffee. And these guys who are even older than me come walking in like they were just racing Lance Armstrong down the fucking street with their stupid click-on shoes. Oh, if you don't have those on, are your 60-year-old legs going to slip out of the pedals because you're going so hard? I don't know. And then I was sitting there and I'm watching fucking people pouring boxed water into plastic cups. And all I'm doing is thinking about the polar ice caps melting as everyone's sitting underneath a heated lamp. Everybody talks about why this country got soft, and no one ever brings up heated lamps. Is it too? Are you getting a little chilly? Do you need another sun shining on you? You fucking pussy. I'm just worried I'm gonna catch cold. Then go inside. Go inside to your fucking control. I'm sorry. I've just been up here for a few days, and I've yet to find the place where really good coffee is. I'm back onto that shit. I got to get off. I got to get back onto the tea. I drink the tea. I'm relaxed. But I drink coffee and I'm walking around this fucking town, and I swear to God, if I hear any more fucking folk music, which to me is the soundtrack to incest, that incest fucking music with the goddamn violin, the fucking the banjo, Jimmy Crack Corn, whatever and I've been walking around this town, and that's what they're playing up here, which is kind of genius in a way. You know what I mean? If you subtly want to keep your town all white, that's what you do, is you just have bands around town with banjos and fiddles and cowboy hats, playing music like we're in fucking Tombstone, and then simultaneously you got electric cars driving down the street. It's the weirdest. This is just a weird place. And I've had enough, and I want to fucking go home. But before I do, I have to go to this park and have a show, which I think is going to be great. I'm not saying it's all bad up here. I'm a city guy. I don't know what happened. I grew up in the suburbs, and you go one of two ways. Oh, three ways. You got three ways, right? Either be like, you know what, the suburbs is too suburb for me. I'm going to go into the city. Or this is too many fucking people. I got to get out of here, which I also understand. And then you go out to the country, right? You go over the hill and you're just by yourself. And then every 4 years, some guy with a comb over tells you that fucking, immigrants and fucking trans people are coming over the fucking hill. And what do you know? What do you know? You're out there with your fucking mailbox that's a quarter of a mile away from your house. You don't know what the fuck's going on, right? Or you go into the city and you start going well, okay, there's a guy smoking crack on my stoop. Do I step over him? Do I slide down the rail? What is the proper social etiquette here? Is that a pile of human feces? When I first moved to New York, I remember I would come back late at night and I would walk up my stoop, and my stoop went up, and you could, on either side of it, below the sidewalk, it was dug out because there was basement apartments down there, and they put the trash down there. And I would go down there, and there would be people down there smoking crack. And I don't know if you guys remember the crack epidemic, but when people were really hooked on that shit, they looked like they were already dead. And I remember I would come home and I would fucking look down and lock eyes with them, and it would give you a fucking chill. You know what I mean? Because they looked like they had already passed into the next world. So obviously you have superpowers. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking they're just going to fucking levitate up, sort of lunge. What was that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon? Remember that when they were running in the air? Remember that was in karate movies for half a second, people running in the air? I remember I saw that movie and it won all these awards, but I've never seen a movie that was being serious and the crowd was laughing at the same time, laughing at how fucking ridiculous that was. So, anyway, I don't know if I'm going to do my whole podcast here. I'm not really podcasting as much as I'm giving my wife a break from me. Anyway, Billy Jim Bod hit the goddamn gym today. Got to get back on my diet. Going to France for a week and then doing SNL last week kind of threw me off. I got real lazy in France, and then I got busy in New York. So I got to get back on the grind. So that's it. I've had no bread today. I've had no sugar. Fucking crushing the waters, and all I got to do is phase out the coffee, get myself some tea, which I'm gonna do, and then I should be good to go. And then old Billy's in the bubble, old Billy Bubblehead, yeah, old Charlie Brown, old albino Charlie Brown is going to be coming to New York to start that play, Glenn Ross. So I'm going to get myself off book. which means I'm going to know all my lines before I get there because it's murderer's row as far as actors that I'm working with, and I don't want to be the guy that's behind. So I'm going to be doing all I can to keep up with the level of talent that's going to be on stage. So I got to make sure I'm over-prepared, or else old Billy's going to get bounced. You know what? Hey, Bill, can I talk to you for a second? You know, whenever you get that fucking... Hey, Bill. You know, eyebrows up. Hey, Bill, you want to come in here for a second? You're like, that's it. I'm getting fired. So, anyway, I was telling you guys the reason why I figured out the reason I don't like golf is because the entire time I play, all I'm thinking about is the people behind me, right? And all I can think is that if I'm going too slow, they're going to drive down in the cart and beat the shit out of me with their clubs, which I know they're not, but that like goes on. Because everybody, you know, I don't know about you guys, but like, you know, my 6-year-old brain made a lot of fucking laws that still exist. They're still on the books between my ears, you know what I mean? So unless they say it out loud, I don't realize how ridiculous it is. So I was going like, you know what, that's stupid. Nobody's going to do that. Hopefully they won't do that. I mean, I've seen YouTube videos, but like, hopefully they won't do that. But like today, you know, we're staying at this hotel that's like part of a fucking golf course. And I realize there's another reason why I don't like golf. I cannot deal with the amount of guys that drive the golf cart with their leg hanging out of it. I don't know what that is. They all fucking do it. Why can't you bring your leg into the cart? Why is it like just hanging on? Like they just have it hanging there. It's as irritating as people who have their pants hanging off their ass. Like, you would just fucking pull those things up. I remember somebody used to do a bit, and they would reach down, and they would go to pull them up, and then they only pull, you're like, oh my God, they're going to finally pull up their pants. And they would just pull them up like 1/8 of an inch, and just like, oh my God, what the fuck, right? I get the same, you just want to go and fucking pull their pants up. I feel the fucking same way about people with their fucking legs hanging out of the golf cart. I either want to just take their leg and fucking put it in the cart or twist their foot off. Or I literally want their foot to hit a curb and spin around backwards. There's no way. Are there any doctors listening? No doctors listen to this dumb shit, but whatever. Anybody who knows a doctor that works on ankles? What's that doctor called? Huh? Podiatrist is the foot. What about the ankle? I don't know. How funny would that be if your doctor, right? You're some fat fuck, right? Like, those, I always call them Algonquin or Adirondack, whatever those fucking chairs are called, Atlantic chairs. I can never get the right A word. There's like this big pushback. Those chairs are fucking great. And people say, I hate those chairs. You know why I hate those chairs? Because you're a fat fuck. That's why you hate that chair. That's why you fucking hate that chair. And I'm going to tell you something else right now. If you're a man and you're fatter than your wife, you're a fucking disgrace. All right? She had kids. What did you do? You know what you did? You took up golf because you were a fat fuck and your doctor told you to go start golfing. And what did your fat ass do? You just went and got a golf cart and some oversized stupid shirts, and then you're fucking driving around. And not only you're not walking, you fucking turned your foot around like you were riding a Harley. And now you're laid up and you're getting even fatter. Do you know they're selling, they had some on my podcast, they're selling full body deodorant. Full body deodorant. How about you go on a fucking diet? Like, at what point? All right, when you have to put fucking deodorant mid-thigh, you know what I mean? Because your fucking legs look like they're melting. I mean, and this is another thing too. I'm not blaming you for getting that fat. It's our fucking food supply. I was just talking to somebody. They said they spent a month over in Europe, and when they came back here and they started eating our food again, they had diarrhea and an upset stomach. You know what diarrhea is besides disgusting? That's your body going, what the fuck is this? Get it out of here immediately. That's what puking and getting the shits is you know, it's beyond, that didn't agree with me. didn't agree. Like, I don't know. And yet another fucking election has gone by. And what are we focusing on? Freedom. Whatever the fuck that. I gotta get fucking freedom. All these fucking morons with their guns going, I got my guns, make sure protect myself against tyrannical government. It's like, well, what are you waiting for? Like, how much more do they have to go? How much further are they going to go before you feel like, I don't know what. I guess as long as you got your Fritos and some dip. You know, that's one of the things I'm really happy I never tried in my life was dip. Because I can tell there is no fucking way I would ever be able to quit that shit. You know what I mean? And God bless the fucking tobacco industry. You know what I mean? Everybody thinks they're evil. They were environmentalists. They knew a long time ago there was too many people and there had to be a fun way to kill people without really, like, you know, having to go full Nazi. You know what I mean? And just fucking have a genocide. They really did. They had, like, their own sort of, like, genocide. And they were equal opportunity. They fucking killed everybody. Poor people, rich people, black, white, the whole fucking... They were just out there killing people. Can you imagine being in that fucking meeting where they were discussing, like, dip and be like just somebody at that big, long fucking oak table was just like, no eye contact. No eye contact. Was just like, hey, man, like, what if... I'm just going to throw this out there. I don't know if this is, like, even too crazy for us in this room, considering some of the plans of action. You know, the corporate people always talk around the evil shit that they're doing. What if we put, like, little pieces of glass in there that caused, like, microscopic cuts that the user of our product wouldn't even notice, that would cause the nicotine to go directly into their bloodstream and give them such a rush that, you know, they would continue using this stuff until they lost their jaw. And everybody's just kind of sitting there looking down, just, you know, it's like a poker game. You're just waiting for somebody to flinch. And then they do that white guy thing, you know, where you put your eyebrows up while you make a frown. I mean, is there a way to do that? And then you come home. However that meeting plays out, you then have to go home and look at your wife and kids. She comes through the door. You come through the door and she says to you, how was your day? Oh, it was good. It was good. Oh, yeah? Anything exciting happen? No. Well, yeah, actually, you know that dip that we make? Oh, yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, evidently we're going to start putting glass in it. So it makes microscopic cuts and the nicotine goes straight to the brain. Oh. Is that like, you know, and then she plays like dumb because, you know, even though she knows it's evil, but she likes the lifestyle of fucking and being married to the white guy sitting at that fucking giant oak table. Is that like biad? Right? She doesn't really say bad, but she pronounces it biad, so she dumbs herself down so he can feel fucking secure in the relationship, that she's too stupid to move on, right? And he's just like, no, it's just going to be like microscopic. It's actually going to improve the tobacco consuming experience. Oh, okay. What are you doing Saturday? Anyway, sorry. By the way, you guys are really getting here. You're getting a fucking pre-show. This is like what I'm going to be doing because I burned some material when I was on SNL. So I got to improvise, and this is just where I am. just being up here. It's really not Ojai's. Let's be honest about Ojai. It's fucking beautiful. It's gorgeous. The people are great. It's just when I'm in a place for more than 2 or 3 days and I have time to let the demons in between my ears catch up with me, I there's only so long you can sit with your own bullshit before you start lashing out at everyone around you. Then that's what I'm doing right now. The coffee's been fine. There's nothing wrong with playing golf. And listen, if you want to hang your fucking leg out there, and just see how much you can stretch your ball bag as that belly full of mistakes pushes down on your dick, go ahead and do it. Put on some silly pants. And address the ball. Do that. Stand over the ball for as long as you like. Oh, that's another thing about golf. It's like, will you just fucking get on with it? You know it's not going to go straight. Oh, and then after they fuck it up for the 50th time, they then gonna like have that confused look on their face, like that doesn't happen 90% of the time. And then they gotta take a couple more practice swings. And then everybody else in the foursome knows what you're doing wrong, even though they're not playing well too. You picked your head up. You're bringing the club back too far. You're opening up. You got to make sure your hands are like this. They need to be like that. Oh yeah. What and why are you talking to me like you're some sort of fucking club champion? Why am I listening to you? Your shirt is just as silly as mine. I remember one time somebody gave me advice on a shot, and their very next shot, they went out of the bunker, over the green, into somebody's yard, and their ball landed in their pool. Next hole, they're still giving me advice. It's like you just sent a sleeve of fucking balls into the fucking deep end. You went from the beach to a fucking diving board. Like, what are we doing here? What am I doing here? You know what's funny? I saw this thing on Instagram that said if you're 56 years old, on average, you have like 22 years left in your life. And that's if you take care of yourself. And then they're showing this old guy, like just on this rowing machine, just vigorously rowing. It's like, what is that? Like, so what is he going to do? What is he doing right now? It's like you could just eat better. Just eat better and stretch. Why do you have to wear out your fucking joints? You know what's so fucking funny? If you could somehow time travel back to the 1800s and show them a rowing machine, like the look on people, you want to talk about living in a simulation. You're rowing a boat that doesn't exist in a fucking gym. Because you're afraid of dying. I don't know why more people don't look at dying as a fucking one of the biggest relief of life. Like, why don't you look at it that way? Religion even ruined dying. They ruined everything. Fucking, children, feeling good about yourself. Religion is the fucking worst thing. The biggest mind fuck. I love how people always trash Scientology. Like, why don't you get you and your religion shit together first before you get mad at a bunch of people that think a spaceship is coming back? Is that any fucking dumber than thinking some guy that got fucking tortured to death was the son of God? Came from a mom who's still a virgin. I love how she was still a virgin because God forbid she ever got fucked, right? God forbid she had a good time in bed. Huh? Nobody talks about Joseph. Huh? Was he a virgin? Was he standing around going like, well, I guess I'm going to be a virgin for life because Mary's not fucking, she's not into it. That was the original gaslighting, huh? In a relationship. female to male. Hey, Mary, listen, you're not fucking me, but somehow you're pregnant. Obviously, you cheated on me, so I'm going to get my sandals and my one robe, and I'm hitting the bricks here. Oh, you don't understand. I didn't fuck somebody else. You're pregnant, Mary. No. The kid is from God. This is God's son. And he didn't even bang me. He just was an immaculate conception. And Joseph was so in love that he fell for it. And that was it. That was the first De Niro, Sharon Stone. Like, dude, you know all Joseph's. This is such hacky material, but what are you going to do? Everybody's mulched this over. But you know Joseph's friends were just like, dude, you got to get it. You got to break up with this chick. I mean, can you at least get a paternity? Well, I don't need to get a paternity. You said it was God's kid. Oh, yeah, what does God look like? Because I'll tell you right now, your baby looks like that dude down the street. I'm just saying. Okay? Shouldn't that baby half look like God, half look like Mary? How come it looks like every other long-haired fuck walking down the street? Can you explain that? If you can explain that, I will walk away. I will buy your hummus if you can explain that. Summer breeze makes me feel fine. Sorry. Congratulations to Jorge Martin, the 2024 MotoGP champion, and it's the first time someone has won the championship not riding a factory-sponsored motorcycle. He was riding a Ducati, but it wasn't the factory team. Which I don't know what that means. Does that mean you have to buy your own wrenches, like for like the team that like Bastianini and Bagnaia are on? Did like Ducati just funds everything, and then like Jorge Martin's team, they got to get like bootleg shit. They got the Snap-on truck pulling up. You know, they're going over to Midas to get a new muffler. I don't quite understand what that means, but congratulations to them. And then I also want to thank everyone who's coming out to the Libby Bowl. Forgive me what I say about your town. Just know I love it up here. Okay, there's a reason I picked this place, and there's a reason I brought my family up here, because it is fucking awesome. I'm just a little Billy Dark Days. You know what I mean? So I went to the gym, get the endorphins going. That's what you do. You get the endorphins going, so then you don't think about your demons. You never deal with your demons, but you kind of keep them at bay. And with that, let's do the reads here. Oh, look who it is, everybody! It's Helix. You know, a good night's sleep is the cornerstone of every healthy life. Don't sleep on the importance of having a quality mattress. Everybody is unique, and everybody sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. Models with memory, foam layers to provide optimal pressure relief if you sleep on your side. Don't want to take my word for it? Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired magazine. Get 25% off site-wide, plus 2 free dream pillows with any mattress purchase. Free bedding bundle, parentheses, the bedding bundle includes 2 dream pillows, sheet set, and mattress protector. In case you're a bedwetter, I guess. With any Luxe or Elite mattress order, helixsleep.com/Burr. That's helixsleep.com/Burr. HELIX sleep.com/BURR. Oh, look who it is. Oh, Indochino. Hey, I'm doing the podcast. Why did I just say that to a cleaning lady? Indochino. This Black Friday, instead of just... Hang on, I gotta fucking hold on. Hang on a second. All right, I'm back. They went away. They know what it means. I'm doing the podcast. Take a fucking walk, all right? Indochino. You know, this Black Friday, instead of just looking for good deals, get a deal that will make you look good. Get a custom-made Get custom-made clothing at the best prices all year from the global leader in made-to-measure apparel. Their Black Friday sale runs November 18th through December 1st. It's not Black Friday. Those are Black Weeks. And their cyber sale goes on from December 2nd to December 8th, all at Indochino.com. So you have no excuse for looking bad this time of year. Just go out there and get yourself a $99 suit. Walk up to that broad you're afraid to talk to and let her know what the fuck's going on. Design the suit of your dreams and fine-tune every detail, including lapels, linings, monograms, pocket flaps, etc. A tailored fit from home. Set up your measurement profile on Indochino's website and choose customizations without even leaving the house. Or a premium in-person experience. Book an appointment at a showroom near you and let Indochino's style guide walk you through every step. Upgrade your closet and shop discounted custom pieces and bundles at Indochino.com during their Black Friday sale, November 18th through December 1st, and their cyber sale from December 2nd to December 8th. That's Indochino.com. Hang on a second. Yeah, hey. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, how many these fucking people, man? You fucking tell them I'm doing a fucking podcast. They keep knocking. People knocking, but you can't come in. All right. Oh, look who it is, everybody. Simply Safe. If you've ever worried about the safety of your home and family, there's no better time to act. Right now, get 60% off a new Simply Safe security system, their best deal of the year. Hey, can I ask you guys, let me ask you a question. Do you live in the middle of fucking nowhere? You can't even see your neighbors? You know what I mean? That's got to be like you took it too far. Now you're kind of terrified. I don't know how, every once in a while I'll be flying across the country and I'll just look down and see a random house. And because I'm in, at 37,000 feet, I can see how far away town is. And I'm just like, wow. That guy could walk to his mailbox, dick out, and he's never going to get arrested because no one's ever going to see it. But at nighttime, don't you worry? You worry about cougars and bears and Bigfoot and fucking serial killers? Do you get Simply Safe? Simply Safe is the home security I trust. I've been using it for years and love the peace of mind it brings knowing my home is protected 24/7. Well, I'm waiting for them to upgrade it with a death laser. It's one thing to let me know someone's coming to my house. It's quite another to take them out. Just like a nice stun gun. It'd be funny if you just had a stun gun so the person doesn't die, and then it's like a friend of yours. It's like, oh, sorry, I didn't upload your fucking retinas to my Simply Safe. It didn't recognize you. You all right? You're not concussed. It's just, it's just more like, I roofied you instantly. My listeners can get 60% off today just by visiting simplysafe.com/Burr. That's Simply Safe. Simply Safe is a new way to protect your home that stops intruders before they break into your home. Old school systems only take action once somebody is already inside your home. That's too late. Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection changes the game by preventing crime before it even happens. Jesus Christ, they got ESP over here. If someone's lurking around or acting suspiciously, what's the difference between lurking and stretching before a jog? I guess it's what you're wearing, right? Those agents see them in real time. Talk to them directly, set off your spotlight, and even call the police before they've had a chance to break in. That's great. What the fuck are you doing? Get out of here. Plus, there are no long-term contracts, no cancellation fees, and it's around $1 a day for this protection. Simply Safe is offering my listeners exclusively early access to their Black Friday sale. This week only, you can get 60% off any new system with a select professional monitoring plan. This is their best offer of the year. Head to simplysafe.com/Burr. Dude, what is with the Black Friday happening weeks before Thanksgiving? That's simplysafe.com/Burr. SIMPLISAFE.com/Burr. There's no safe like Simply Safe. All right. And with that, we're into the questions for the week. All right. Female response. I love when the ladies write in. Shout out to the ladies. We need more female energy on this fucking podcast. All you got is me. I'm bringing grumpy, old school, generations ago, male energy. We need to balance it out with a couple of ladies. All right, female response 2. Girlfriend who says I stare too much. All right, so just to bring you up to speed, on my podcast last week, this poor bastard was dating this broad, right? Now, this is his version of what was going on. He said he'd be out to dinner with her, and he hasn't looked at anybody, and then she would be like, why don't you just go over there and fucking bend her over the goddamn table, you fucking pervert? And he would be like, what are you talking about? I'm eating my Brussels sprouts. She goes, I fucked half the room over there, right? So and he's like, what do I do? Anyway, long-term female listener here. Has it felt like a pregnancy listening to my fucking moron thoughts? I'm a bit late in responding. After hearing this man write in about his girlfriend, who was claiming he stares too much when they're out on a date, I immediately wanted to write in to share my opinion and experiences about this situation. First off, where/what are you guys eating on your dates? My husband and I regularly have weekly Friday night dates. We eat relatively clean during the week, so date night would be fun food, pizza, burgers, burritos, etc. Well, isn't that a cool idea? Then you're like excited. It's the weekend, you get to eat some shit, you know? Anyway, there have been dates where I became angry and sometimes straight up evil afterwards. I'd bicker and nitpick. In my brain, I wanted to stop myself, but I couldn't help it. Well, first of all, I just want to tip my cap to you that you're actually admitting that. That takes a lot to admit as an adult, any human, male or female, or they over there, to admit that, you got some, because I do that when I'm fucking losing my temper. As I'm doing it, I'm like, don't do this. Don't flip out over this fucking, whatever the fuck I'm dealing with. Like, we have a fucking rental car up here, and, it was a Cadillac Escalade, and the dude taking the bag out of the back opened the window on the tailgate, and it took us 15 minutes to figure out how to fucking close a fucking window, because every car is so fucking over-designed, because they're completely out of ideas. You don't need a new car, all right? Throw a new engine in your old fucking car. These new cars, bang, bang, boom, everything you're doing, they're just bells and whistles and all of this shit. And they're tracking you and talking to your phone and just trying to suck information out of you. Fuck new cars, gas combustion or fucking electric cars. Fuck all of them. I'm done with them. Sorry. Anyway, we eat relatively clean, blah, 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 blah. Okay, but I couldn't help it. I wanted to stop myself, but I couldn't help it. It took me a very long time to figure it out, but my problem was gluten. Jesus Christ. It's not jealousy. It's not overreaction. It's what you're eating. Women are fucking, I don't know if they're just in tune or they're just fucking beyond complex. They're like the Jaguars of people. I'm talking about the car. I've been tested before. I'm not celiac. I don't even know what that means. Nor do I have a gluten allergy. Yet if I eat gluten, seriously, within 10 minutes, I become vicious and mean, and it lasts for a few days. It goes straight to my brain. Once I cut it out, it stopped 90% of my stupid, nonsensical bickering with my husband. So to the guy who wrote in or any listener, if someone does a 180 mood change after eating something, this is fascinating. Pay attention to what was eaten. It's obviously not going to be the same for everyone, but you never know. Wow. That's pretty amazing. Well, I got to pay attention to what the hell I eat every time I fly off the handle. I know I'm going to do that research. Well, what was it, Bill? That doesn't matter. Whatever I eat, I still fucking flip out. Second, I'm going to talk about the uncomfortable, but pay attention to where your girlfriend is in her cycle. I can hear the eye rolls from here, but please let me explain, and I will use myself as an example. I was put on birth control when I was 15 and remained on it until early 30s. Once I got off it, I had zero clue of what the female hormone cycle is and how it affects the body. It's not really taught anywhere. I educated myself, and it explains so much of my behavior and habits. Wow, this is a fully formed adult. They're having problems and they're looking inward to see how they're adding to it. Jesus Christ, we should all be like this. There are 4 stages to a female cycle. I gotta be honest, as a guy, it feels like 15. Okay, there's 4 There are 4 stages to a female cycle, meaning roughly every week there is a hormone shift. I don't even know what that means. Okay, with every hormone shift, there is a slight change in mood, energy, libido, etc. Okay, so it's kind of like me going to the gym or just laying on the couch. Both of those affect my mood. So if this girlfriend is always claiming you are always staring at girls and it's every few weeks, note it could be that time of the month. How the hell is he supposed to bring that up? What are you, ragging again, sweetheart? Now, before you say that's too much responsibility to pay attention to. No, not at all. This is like you're fucking reading from the playbook here. And that's just an excuse for crappy behavior. Guess what? If you're invested in a serious relationship with someone, having that information about their hormone cycle in your back pocket can elevate so much self-doubt and questioning. Yeah, there you go. Finally, if she keeps picking an argument, she's either feeling low self-esteem or she wants out. But if it's either of the 2 situation above, and if you're committed in the relationship, know that it will pass, and bring up either scenario for discussion with your girlfriend. Okay, so meaning, was it something you ate? Or are you have your hormone, your part of your cycle has your hormone shifted? Anyway, I hope my rambling helps, and if not, go fuck yourself. You weren't rambling. That was all amazing information that I would never know. I don't know about people listening, but that was all new to me. I'm going to ask my wife right now, basically just kick me out of the other room, like where she is in her hormone cycle right now. New cars suck. Dear Billy, sans a belt slacks. Sans a belt slacks? Without a belt slacks? I don't know what that means. I love the podcast. And I'm digging your rants against the new cars and so-called features that not only make driving harder, but also dangerous. Yeah, it's completely distracting. A few years back, I purchased a brand new pickup with all the bells and whistles, then ended up trading it in within a year because I couldn't handle the constant conflicts with the computer brain in the name of safety. It's really not. It's also like just trying to get any personal information. Dude, there's cars that are filming you. They're listening to you. It's like, it's fucking creepy. You know? And I came up with all of this shit? Nerds. When all this time, all you stupid-ass feminists have been paying attention to frat boys. What do? They walk around with their hats on backwards, throw a football on and say nice titties? The world should be that safe again. Forget about these fucking nerds that are trying to get in your house and in your fucking brain. This truck had the lane assist, which would go berserk anytime the highway department was redoing the lines or in construction zones. Driving in a snowstorm, a chink of ice got stuck in the front of the sensor, and the cruise control would not engage until the sensor was cleared. Yeah, it's so stupid. The other maddening thing, the cruise control would stay at the speed I input until another vehicle would appear ahead of me. Then it would drop my speed to match theirs. So I was always on guard to flick it off so I could pass the car on the right, then get back in the left lane and resume cruising speed. So after a while, didn't see the point in using the cruise control. Dude, I got in this fucking Cadillac Escalade, and it just made the decision to turn on the heated seats and the fucking steering wheel. I fucking hate heated seats. It's disgusting. It's gross. I don't want to sit in a seat like I feel like a fat person just got up from. You know what I mean? You want to drive around your car with swamp ass? And why are you heating up the steering wheel? I had to and of course, once again, there's 50 fucking buttons. It's like you're sitting behind a mixing board. And what's funny too is all of this adds weight to the car, which causes more fuel consumption. Anyway, what finally put me off new cars for good was the truck's sensor never gave me a chance to evaluate hazards ahead and take appropriate action. For instance, the car in front of me comes to a sudden stop and puts his blinker on for a left turn. Plenty of room for me to go around him on the right and keep moving. The truck instead scares the crap out of me because it starts chiming and throws up brake in capital letters in the dash and screeches to a halt. Yeah, it's like somebody screaming fire in a crowded movie theater. Something happened to me with a car crash in front of me. My instinct is to swerve and accelerate out of trouble, and nothing happens when I stomp on the gas. After that, I became Mike Singletary. I cannot play with them. I cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it. So I traded in for a 2011 Ford Ranger and couldn't be happy. Total control. Same for my commuter car, a 2007 Pontiac Vibe. It even came with the cigarette lighter. That's fantastic. Sorry if this is too long. It's not. It's not. I babble for fucking 40 minutes before I get to you guys. None of your shit's too long. Sorry if it's too long, but I just want you to know that you're fighting the good fight and maybe things will start changing back. No, we're going to lead to self-driving cars. That's what they want. And a self-driving car is not your car anymore. It's a fucking police car. And they will have the ability to override that thing. And if they ever want to bring you in for questioning, you think you're going to the supermarket and it's going to take you to the right and you're down the fucking police station. It's so stupid. And these fucking people are going to be literally having self-driving cars with American flags on the back of them. Freedom ain't free. They're still going to be doing that. Not realizing. It's like that experiment back in the day where they would drop a mouse into boiling water and it would jump out. But if they slowly turned up the heat, it would stay in there and fucking die. That's what they're doing. You know, I'll tell you a fucking crazy thing the other day. I was driving down the street and I saw there was a flatbed truck with a Toyota Tundra on it. And the person had this custom paint job. And the Tundra, it said Tundra on the tailgate and it was written in the red, white, and blue with the stars of the American flag. A foreign truck with the American flag on it. Anyway, see, guy says, sorry if this is too long. I just want you to let you know you're fighting the good fight and maybe things will change back. I recently read that Europe is forcing manufacturers to ditch touch screens and bring back buttons and dials. Oh, that's fantastic. From a fan and a fellow centrist fuck. Yeah. Dude, centrists are what's going to save this country. You know? The pendulum is just swinging too far to the left and to the right. We're just stuck in this eddy of crazy people running this fucking country, being paid by even crazier fucking people. We got to bring it back to the middle. All right? Stop telling people how to live their life. And I'm talking to both fucking sides. And there shouldn't just be two sides. You know, in France, they have like 6 political parties. And it swings too far to the right or too far to the left. The ones in the middle, even though they don't get along, they will team up to balance it. That's what's missing in this country. That's how you go from fucking, walking away from the Paris Treaty to giving your kids fucking gender-altering hormones at 3 years of age, back to fucking, the Apprentice guy talking to Dr. Phil about national security. It's fucking insane. All of this is insane. Anyway, Tesla. Hey, Billy Rednuts. I listen to your podcast all the time. You are my favorite comedian. Ah, that's nice of you. I have to disagree with you on the Elon Musk thing. His company only took government money in 2010 for a loan that he paid out. The loan was, dude, that company has never made any money. It's never made any money, and the car is a piece of shit. The suspension cannot handle the fucking torque. I owned one of those things. I owned one of those fucking things. The loan was to build a Tesla plant in California that provided over 500 jobs in the area. He also sells energy credits to other car manufacturers that the government awards Teslas for being energy efficient. They're not energy efficient. How are they energy efficient? Any more than a gas combustion engine. How are they energy efficient? They're literally disposable cars. They're like laptops. No one's going to buy a classic Tesla at a Mecum auction. It's like, what if Apple made cars? You know your old cell phone that you have fucking sitting, you never threw it out from 20 years ago, the flip? It's not fucking worth anything. I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, he says, I do share your exact views on CEOs paying themselves millions of dollars in bonuses and salaries when they could take a third of that and pay their employees an honest, livable wage. I'm not talking $15 an hour. You can't live off that anymore. No, that fucking guy at Starbucks taking $120 million as a signing bonus. As a fucking signing bonus. It in my business. I know someone was working at one of these fucking basic cable channels, and the thing is tanking, and they fired everybody. And the guy at the top gave himself $150 million fucking Christmas bonus for a channel that was dying off. It's legalized stealing, and that's why any mobster back in the day, anybody that was in the mob, the smart ones, not only did they keep themselves out of the paper, they were slowly going legit. And they were getting out of these illegal activities and taking the money that they made from, air quote, crime, which it was crime, but there's crime on there's two types of stealing. There's illegal stealing, and then there's stealing on the legal side of the law, which is what white-collar people do all the fucking time. All the fine. It's what these corporate people in these positions of power, what they're doing and the way that they're treating their employees. And all they have to do is just buy ad time on CNN and Fox News and pay off politicians, and no one's going to fucking touch them. And then they can actually go out and buy these gaudy houses. You could never do that as a gangster. You saw those guys, like the 5 families that were running New York City. You look at their house, you'd never know they were doing it. All right? And that was the thing that sucked about what they did, was they had zillions of dollars, but they had to keep it in the fucking walls. And then meanwhile, they're looking across the street at their neighbor, right? He's a fucking banker, and he gets to drive down the street in a fucking top hat, driving a fucking limousine or having somebody drive him. So, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to do on this next tour. Is I'm not going to go out there and be this. I'm going to try to get people. You got to look past the political parties, and you have to look at the people that pay them. Anyway, I strongly believe that these people working at Amazon should make $25 to $35 an hour. Amazon is a great example of the CEO/owner Jeff Bezos making $1 billion a year while most of his employees struggle to pay bills. Yeah, that's fucking wrong, and that shouldn't be legal. And you know what's killing me is young people look at that, and they've just been brought up on that. They go, well, he started the company out of his garage, so he ought to be able to and they're getting trained like this is what you do. Come up with an idea where you can make $1 billion, and then everybody else has to fucking huddle around a fire, the same fire, to try to be warm in the wintertime. I don't know. I don't understand. What's the point of making all that money if you're not trying to help people out, if you're not trying to help out your own country, your own countrymen, and make it a better place? And what's going on in this country where the middle class is disappearing because of these fucking billionaires and the out-of-control corporate greed is, one of the greatest things ever about this country was middle class. Middle class was always where you wanted to be. You know what I mean? You had a 40-hour work week, you had benefits, and when you went home on Friday, you left the fucking job. And you had enough money to feed your family and have a fucking house. Like, what else did you need? And for whatever reason, these fucking people at the top just cannot have enough money, cannot have enough power, cannot have enough control, cannot have enough information, and they don't care who suffers. And they are completely out of control. And I didn't hear either candidate, anybody, talking about how they wanted to do that. I heard RFK Jr. talking about it, and they tarred and feathered that guy very quickly. Bernie Sanders talked about it, tarred and feathered him. Ralph Nader, tarred and feathered him. Ross Perot, tarred and feathered him. That's all they do. He's crazy. He's out of his mind. He's a quackpot. Anyway, sorry for the punctuation in this. I'm talking to my text while I'm on my way to work. I love the podcast. You inspire me every day as a father and just as a human being. So go fuck yourself and have a great day. All right. Thank you. All right, here we go. Wrapping it up here. The last one. Oh, I got two more here. Old Billy Babbles here. Kid Sports. Hey, Hollywood Bill. Longtime fan going back to the racial draft. Whoa. And World Series of Dice on Chappelle's show. Got a dad/sports-related question for you. My son has played basketball for a few years now. He's been working one-on-one with a private coach who's also a former G League player. Okay, the past 2 years, he's made the local travel team, but hasn't gotten much playing time. He's been the second string to both of the coach's kids, who are rarely pulled out unless they get hurt. This past season, we literally knew when he'd be in. The last 2 minutes of the first quarter, the last 30 seconds of the second, none of the third, and depending if they were in the lead, he might see some action in the last 2 minutes of the fourth. This has destroyed his confidence and his ability. This is terrible that this has happened to sports. He won't try out for the middle school team this year because he says he sucks at basketball, despite his private coach saying he's easily 80% from the three-point line and 90% on free throws. But you got to get him on another team, I guess. His private coach came to 2 of his games and had to leave out of frustration because he wanted to light up the 2 coaches. My question as a dad, what do you do from here? He's agreed to play a year in the local rec league, which should be a joke, 1 practice a week and 1 game a week on Saturday mornings for 5 weeks. It's frustrating to know your kid is good and putting in the work, but being benched because of nepotism. Anyways, hope you and the family are well. Love hearing the dad stories. You're crushing it, my man. Would love and old dads too. Listen, the reason why you're supposed to play sports is you're supposed to have fun. That was the reason. That was the reason we collected football cards and all of that shit. It was all to have fun. Now everything is like a money move, get the bag and all of that shit. I don't know. Unless you think your kid's going to make it to the NBA, I think your main goal right now should be to get your kid in some sort of league where he's going to get to play and have fun and learn the great lessons that organized sports treat you. How to handle the ups and downs, winning and losing, how to get along with other people, how to squash shit, how to dig down and find something in you that you didn't even know you had. I mean, it's an incredible thing to play organized sports. Don't let these fucking nerds and feminists, the way they talk about sports, they didn't play sports, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And they speak in these giant generalizations. Athletes are some of the great fucking people you're going to run into. I mean, the amount of them that have fucking charities and give back. Any of these fucking nerds that start streaming services and fucking places to download music, are they giving back? They're keeping it all for themselves. Where's the pressure on them to do something? But anyways, getting back to those other 2 people, if there's something you want to do about that, maybe add a team. Maybe add a team and you coach it and fucking, or just approach him. Just say dude, this is ridiculous. My kid is a good player and you got your kid in the whole game. It's just off. That's the type of shit out of everything that really just makes me hate human beings. That you can take something as innocent and great as that and you're sitting there, like those hyper-competitive fucking douche. I'm going to coach the team, and I'm going to put my kid in there. It's like, your fucking kid's not going to make the NBA. You fucking douche. I hate people like that. That's what it is. Every fucking thing becomes that. These fucking people with no morals just get in there and rig the game, and they don't give a fuck about anything but themselves and their own kids. I got to be honest with you. To watch parents... It's bad enough to do that before you settle down and have a wife and kids or a husband, whatever your deal is. To fucking do that shit after you have kids. You know what I mean? And you're still living life. That fucking move is not on the kid. That's on the dad. And he's still doing, he should be wise. Just becoming a parent should put you beyond that. And you should be, your main concern is that the kids go out there and have fun. And this fucking bullshit that these toxic fucking do. Well, life isn't fun, and then you learn early on. It's like, shut the fuck up. The fuck, sitting there talking like you climbed a mountain and achieved something. You're coaching kids and you're being a douche about it. Anyway, I'm sorry you're going through that, dude. I don't know how to go around that. You know what I would do? I would talk to other dads and see if you guys can get like something going on and get rid of those two fucking coaches. Because they're just coaches. There's got to be somebody running the league. Anyway, girlfriend doesn't want to have sex ever. Well, if you want to have sex, then I would get out of the relationship. Hey, Bill, I've been put through the ringer. I'm 23 and my girlfriend is 27. We've been together for 6 months. She recently dropped on me that she doesn't want to have sex. All right. She either wants to break up with you, she's gay, or something fucking happened to her, and she's having some sort of issue. She said she feels ashamed and gross about having sex from what she tells me. We had sex twice in the first couple months, but nothing since. I love this girl and don't want it to end, but no sex isn't an easy thing to accept. Nor should you accept it. You just sit down. She has to go to therapy. She's got to figure out what's going on. Because she shouldn't be feeling that way. Something terrible probably happened to her, unfortunately. Not to mention, she grabs my junk a lot, which seems contradictory to what she says about not wanting sex. Maybe that's her, like, conciliatory fucking thing she's doing. Anyway, we talked about this a couple times, and she usually starts crying. I'm sympathetic because she has a lot of trauma, but I can't seem to bring it up without her getting upset. Would love to hear what you would do in this situation and what you think. Love the podcast and go fuck yourself. I would just say, listen, I love you to death, but I can't be in a relationship where we're not having sex. But I love you enough to work through this with you. All right? And as long as you're going to therapy and you're trying to figure this out, I am willing to stay with you. But, like, if this is how it is, this doesn't work for me. All right? And that's not you being selfish. I don't care how much she cries. Okay? You have a right to say what you need also. You wouldn't know that watching all of these stupid Dr. Phil people who just make it seem like guys are always wrong and women are always right. It's so fucking stupid. There's nothing wrong with how you feel. There's nothing wrong with how she feels. But what you have to do is you got to get on the same fucking page here. So just say what the fuck I said, because I'm not going to be able to say it better than that or some version of it. All right? And once again, I'm just a fucking comedian. I am not trained in any of these things. I have a degree in failure. That's how I've learned everything I've learned. All right, that is the podcast. Go fuck yourselves. And I will check in on you on Thursday. And hey, go out there and be nice to people. All right? Just because the world's crazy doesn't mean you got to give into that fucking energy. All right? And I'm just going to go buy something and just say something nice to somebody behind the fucking counter. All right? They're getting fucked over too. They're not getting paid what they're worth either. All right? Maybe turn their mood around. Who knows? All right? Grassroots here. All right. I'll see you.